Yo, what's up guys, this is your boy, I'm here to bring you another video today, and today guys, we're going to be going over all the new stuff coming out with this maintenance on Wednesday. A lot of cool stuff happening, so let's get into it. So we have a returning event. Let's cover that first before we get into the units and all that. We have the returning event of Fina and Regulus, the twin knights of the Morning Star. These guys are returning, or well, they're also returning on the banner too. You can also summon them, but their event is returning. This event is pretty decent. Unfortunately, since it is a rerun event, it's not going to have any kind of LB stones or anything like that, so that kind of sucks. But Regulus and Fina's event is pretty solid if you are a new player and you are lacking some equipment. So if we scroll down here, we have the Holy Shield, which is the 5-star magic attack slot. This gives you 50-second cooldown, 800 break, attack plus 500, auto recovery level 3, HP auto recovery by 6, so every second you'll get 6 HP back, and then it has the skill of 6000% light damage magic if user is light elemental, completely evade statuses except fade for 8 seconds. So you evade all statuses for 8 seconds if you use this on a light unit, and you pop it, then you'll be completely immune to all statuses for 8 seconds. So it's kind of a mini Fina art, but in an equipment. So it's pretty solid, it's pretty good. Some people use it on Edrum if they're farming Nier and they don't want to use Fina to help farm Nier. So a lot of people use it on Edrum there because you will evade the disease proc, or that's what it's called, right? Yeah, the disease proc, so he can still get healed and all that. So yeah, it's pretty solid there. But yeah, okay, moving on to that too, we have the Sealed Tome, Truth of the Morning Star. 40-second skill CT, attack plus 120, break 600, auto recovery level 2, HP auto recovery by 4, 3800% light damage magic. If the enemy is dark element, or dark, reduces light resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. This is a pretty solid 4-star magic attack slot if you're using this on any type of light unit that has a 4-star magic attack slot. Even then, you can just throw it on any unit that has a magic attack, a 4-star magic, and you should be straight. I think this is probably one of the better 4-star magics. I'm trying to think of all of them, but yeah, I think this is a pretty solid 4-star magic. And that is all for the event. No new equipment or anything like that. It's just that stuff right there. So if you haven't done this event, I'd recommend farming it. It is pretty solid. I recommend at least trying to get at least one of the Holy Shields, and if you want to get two if you want to, but mostly I think you only need one. You're probably only ever going to use this on Edrum anyway, whenever you're farming like stuff that has a lot of stats elements, and you're trying to luck farm it. Apart from that though, I don't really see people using this equip anymore, especially if you already played during the anniversary. You probably have Alma hats and all that, so that's a better 5-star magic than the Holy Shield. So that is Fina's event covered. Also, the new luck unit, Vicious, she will also get a boost to 30% more event items while you have her on your team. So they're promoting you to use her, and everybody right here, if you can see in that little picture, it's a lot of units. These guys are all gonna have boosted event currency, so yeah, that's pretty cool. Moving on from that though, that is the event coming. Let's do Vicious's stuff. Let's cover over Vicious. So Vicious is a C-tier luck unit. She is a breaker. By no means the best luck unit in the game. We all know the best luck unit in the game is Edrum, or the most universal luck unit, let me say. So right here, this is Vicious and everything. I don't know how hard her event is yet. I'll make a video probably covering how to farm it, even though I'm not really going to be trying to get her to max luck. I'm probably just going to get her to max LB and maybe awaken her and stuff like that, but I'm not trying to max luck her at all. So Vicious, what does she do? So her skill is Assault Razor, 8-second cooldown, 2000 break, 1700% earth damage physical. Her art is Lightning Ray Cannon, 2500% or 2500 break, 9000% earth damage physical, increase all earth elemental units damage in allies by 20% for 12 seconds. Okay, that confused me because it said in allies. So yeah, everybody on your team that's an earth elemental unit gets 20% more damage. So that's pretty cool. And then also her true art, which is Lethal Ray Buster, 4000 break, 14,500% earth damage physical, stops increasing own art gauge and reduces skill CT by 400% and increases break power by 30% for 12 seconds. Skill movement will change and skill effect will change. So whenever you use her true art, she will literally, she's going to reduce her skill CT to 400% by 400%. So what I mean by that is, I don't think that means that it's able to be used faster. I think whenever you reduce the skill CT speed, I think that makes the cooldown longer. I could be wrong about that, but I think reducing skill CT speed is bad. It is actually no, it's not. I think it is gonna make it shorter. So I'm not for sure yet. It could be making it longer, could be making it shorter. I'm not for sure. And you increase your break power by 30% for 12 seconds. So if it does make it shorter, that is giving you the chance to just absolutely spam your skill 24/7. But I think this actually increases your skill CT speed. I could be wrong, even though it says reduces. It's very weird how Grand Summoners word stuff, because on some equipment it says you increase the skill CT speed of a unit by 15%, and then whenever it says that and you put it on the unit, it actually will lower their skill CT speed. But if you reduce it, I don't know if that increases it or if that's actually reducing their skill CT. But let's say, like, since it's 8 seconds, now it reduces it down to, like, well, if it's 400% reduced skill CT speed, then that means 8 seconds will be like nothing. Like, literally. But yeah, Vicious is is she a decent character? She's nothing like too crazy. I guess if you want to run a Earth Luck unit in your mono Earth team, you can with Vicious. Apart from that, though, I think Gilliam is probably still better than her. I could be wrong about that too, but maybe Gilliam is not better than her, but still, I don't really like Vicious that much. But her equipment seems kind of cool. So her equipment is right down here. She has a 5-star physical attack slot, 55-second cooldown, 18,000, good lord, 500 break, 1500 break, I said 500 break, 1500 break, 500 attack, 1500 break, physical resistance level 3, reduces enemies physical damage by 15%, her skill is 5000% earth damage physical, if enemy is god, earth damage 8000%, that's pretty solid, nothing too crazy there, it's decent, I guess. And then her 4-star physical that's from her event is the Gun Sword. I don't know why they just didn't call it Gunblade, but I guess. The Gun Sword, it's a 40-second skill CT, attack plus 120, 1800 break, God Killer level 2, increased damage towards gods by 20%, skill 2400% earth damage physical, increase all allies attack by 20% for 5 seconds. That is a decent buff for a 4-star physical attack slot. 20% attack, but it's only for 5 seconds. You have to time this perfectly in order to really get it off, because a lot of arts and all that last for about 2 to 3 seconds, like their art animation. So yeah, you have to time this perfectly if you are trying to nuke with this item on your units. But yeah, I really don't think it's anything too crazy. They're decent equips. You can farm them if you want to. You're going to be getting probably enough of them by the time you get done farming her, if you're going to be max lucking her. Now that is it for Vicious's missions, or herself, let me say. Now moving on from that, we have the very first step up banner in Grand Summoners. Now let me say real quick too, this step up banner, if you want to give my thoughts on it, is really good. Of course, to do step 2 and step 3, you will have to use paid crystals, but the first step is you can use free crystals. But the step 2 and step 3 for the paid crystals is very solid. The banner is very, very good. It has Jill, Rags, Regulus, Fina, and Cathamelia. So Fina being, one of the best sub attackers in the game currently, she's able to heal and cleanse. Regulus being one of the best attackers in the game, being able to lower dark resistance by 50% with Chew Weapon, and then also able to deal a ton of crit damage. This makes it very, very solid. Now, also Rags himself, one of the best attackers in the game, and Jill is actually a pretty cool breaker. So yeah, but Cathamelia is probably the worst unit on this list. She's a decent unit. She's not too crazy, but you never use her pretty much. But yeah, let's get into this. So what is the step up? So actually doesn't say it. Okay, so the first step up banner in GS, and we've brought out the big guns. The new unit Jill, in addition to Rags, Fina, Regulus, and Cathamelia, 2 times your drop rates to 200% in 3 steps. Use free crystals for your first step to get a guaranteed 5-star unit. Use paid crystals for step 2 and step 3. Make sure to take the banner units along in the Fina and Regulus survival event. They'll give 50% more event items, max LB rare equips faster. So yeah, so you have to use paid crystal, like I said before, on step 2 and step 3, but then free crystals on step 1. And also, yes, 200% to your drop rates. That's to the banner units. I don't think that's 200% to 5 stars. If it is, that's crazy. But no, I think it's just 200% to the banner units rate. So if the banner units rate is like 4.6, then 200% of that and then that would be what the chance of you getting a banner unit on step 3 would be. Now, of course, that increases all banner units drop rates, so not only the ones you see on this thing right here. It's not like, oh, step 1 I can only get Cathamelia, then step 2 I can only get Regulus and Fina, then step 3 I can only get Rags and Jill. That's not how it works exactly, I don't think. So yeah, all of these guys will be on every single step, because how it works in JP, every unit is on step 1, and I'm pretty sure every unit on the banner is on step 2, and then every unit on the banner is on step 3. So yeah, apart from that though, this is a very good time. If you don't have any of these units, apart from Cathamelia, of course, if you're a new player and you just started playing it, you don't mind spending some money, buying like maybe 100 crystals, and then plus 50 free crystals that you already have from like story events, login bonuses, and all that. I think it's pretty solid, because really the worst unit on this banner is Cathamelia. Jill is a tier breaker. She's a really cool unit too. I'll cover in just a second. Rags, an S tier attacker. Of course, you will have to be able to do the Rags Giant Boss event. I've been helping people out with that recently as much as I can. And then also Regulus and Fina is S tier units with their true weapon. So yeah, I think this is very, very solid banner. And also, yes, there is another banner you can do. It's not just only the step up banner. If you want to keep spending free crystals, there is going to be a separate banner to this. So I just want to say that it's going to be the Hero Fest Infinity step up, and there's going to be Hero Fest Infinity. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't have, or I have to buy crystals in order to keep doing summons on this banner, even though I just want to use my free crystals. No, you can just do it on Hero Fest Infinity. There's going to be 2 different banners, the step up one and there's the normal one. Now, moving on from that, we're going to cover Jill. Now, Jill, the waifu of this banner, she's a really cool unit. She's able to pretty much do Shadow Clone Ninjutsu. She literally makes a copy of herself with her true art. She's really cool. So, her skill is Spike Whip, 8-second cooldown, 2000 break, 2100% earth damage physical, increases own skill BE output by 50%, and increases art gauge by 3. Her art is Killing Spiral, 4000 break, 17,000% earth damage physical, increases all allies damage and evasion rate by 20% for 15 seconds. True art is Shadow's Way, increases own art gauge by 100, other self appears for 20 seconds and does the same move. Skill effect, only real self, and other self will not use equips. So what does this do, OP? What does this do? So whenever she is able to create a shadow clone of herself, let me just say that, she is going to get crazy. So whenever you use her true art, her true art is only for using her clone. So it will spawn her clone for 20 seconds, which is a pretty decent amount of time, because you should be able to get off some skills, some arts, and then also get a true art. Again, if you're using like her on the Mount of Earth team, maybe you're running Finn as well, you should be able to cycle her true art and keep up her clone as much as possible. So her skill and her art will be able to be used at the same time as when her clone's out in the field. So what I mean by that is, her clone will literally copy everything that she does. So whenever she uses her skill, her clone will use her skill. Whenever she uses her art, her clone will use her art. So that's really cool. Now, it says skill effect, only real self. So the skill effect is, of course, increase own skill BE output by 50% and art gauge by 3. So that means it's not going to stack. And I'm pretty sure that even confirms that the art won't stack with whenever her dupe is, or the copy of herself is out in the field. So a lot of people were wondering if, does Jill's normal art stack whenever her copy is on the field? But what we mean by that is, whenever she uses her normal art and it gives everybody damage and evasion rate 20% up, and her clones out in the field, will it give everyone 40% up since there's 2 of them out in the field? No, it doesn't do that. It doesn't stack from what it says right here. Skill effects, only real self. So I'm pretty sure that even covers the art effect will only affect its real self. So only Jill, and yeah, so it won't stack from what I'm assuming. But it doesn't make up for the fact that she's going to be dealing an absolute ton of damage and even break power, because with her clone out on the field, she's practically dealing 4k break with her skill, and then with her art, she's practically dealing 8k break. And then, of course, 17,000%, 17,000% added up, and then she's gonna be dealing that, and then also 2100 is gonna be like 4,200% because there's 2 of them, and the clone doesn't do reduced damage. It does the same amount of damage that she does. The only thing that sucks about the clone is it can't use equipment. So even if you have like some overpowered like 5-star physical attack equip on, like, I don't know, maybe like the Cursed Light Sword, and then on the 5-star defense slot you have like Lost Arms, and then the 4-star support slot you have like, I don't know, like Keon or something. She won't be able to use those equips at all. She'll just not do anything so yeah, so the clone won't be able to use equips, but it is going to copy everything that Jill does, so that's really cool. She's a really cool unit. I think one of the most unique units in global right now. So yeah, she's A tier in JP. And if you're wanting to get her, you know, I think she's pretty solid. She's decent. She's a good unit. Now, moving on from that, her abilities are auto recovery level 8, auto recover own HP by 16, ability skill speed up when near death, increases skill speed by 70% when near death, ability secret agents of shadows. When other self shows evasion rate 10% up during enemy break, you get damage 50% up. So whenever you have your clone out, whenever the enemy is breaking, you're going to get 50% more damage up on yourself, so that's going to be making her do even more damage. But yeah, she's a cool unit. I think that she's definitely worth it if you want to summon for her. She's not like S tier or anything like that. She's an A tier unit, but still, she's very solid. Now, moving on from that, we have Rags. Rags is very good, S tier unit, you guys all know. We have Fina, S tier unit. She's able to cleanse and heal. Just make sure you have her true weapon for her to be S tier. Regulus, a S tier unit with his true weapon, being able to lower dark resist by 50% and also crit 100%. Or give everybody a 100% crit chance. Now, of course, he's only S tier with his true weapon, and he only does the 50% dark resist down with his true weapon. So he doesn't have that built into his kit. You have to use his true weapon for him to do that. So yeah, but still, Regulus is really good. Cathamilia, I think she's about a B tier. I think C tier unit. I can't remember exactly, but she's decent. Nothing too crazy. So yeah, so this banner is definitely worth it. Literally, like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 out of the 5 units are pretty good units. So yeah, if you want to summon on it, you can. 4 out of the 5 featured units, let me say, are good. So if you want to, go on ahead and knock yourself out. So I think that is everything. Oh no, we have the True Equip banner. So the True Equip banner, this is the All-Star True Equip summons. They're going to be adding her true weapon. What's her name? Jill's true weapon into the All-Star True Equip summons. So yeah, if you want to be using that, or you want to, you know, be summoning the All-Star True Equips, you have a chance to get Jill's true weapon from the All-Star True Equips now. But she's gonna have her own banner, her own True Equip banner, which is the Great Awakening. Now, her true weapon is pretty interesting. Even though she's a breaker, it kind of makes her want to be on a mono earth team, and I'll tell you why. So her false neutrality, this is her ability whenever it's equipped to herself, increases own damage by 20% and increases art gauge by 2 for 90 seconds only once. That's pretty solid. It's unfortunate that the art gauge isn't all the time like how it is Regulus and Fina, so that kind of sucks, but still, 2 arc gauge for 90 seconds, that's very solid. That's nothing, you know, that's not a bad buff at all. That's pretty good. And then next after that is Revolutionary Fire, Revolution Fire, my bad, not Revolutionary, Revolution Fire. All allies damage by, all allies damage up by 10% for 30 seconds after quest starts. So it's pretty solid, not too crazy, it's decent. And then her skill on the equipment is 8,500% earth damage physical, reduces enemies earth elemental resistance by 50% for 8 seconds. So if you guys have ever saw Regulus's true weapon, this is very similar to his. Regulus's true weapon lowers dark elemental resistances by 50% for 10 seconds. So it's very similar, so she is going to cause people to hit a lot harder. Of course, I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Regulus's true weapon, the simple fact that on Regulus, you have to consider the fact that Regulus is able to give everybody crit chance on his team, and then everybody's going to hit ridiculously hard. That's how, you know, Mono Dark or Regulus and Rags is able to hit so hard if they're on the same team because of his true weapon, and then also the crit chance that he's getting from it. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy like that. I think it will be a decent true weapon if you want to get that on her, but remember, keep in mind that she is a breaker. This doesn't increase her break at all. So yeah, you may want to use Relic Mav instead if you're just trying to build it for break power. But if you want to experiment with this, you know, definitely try to get it if you're going to be using Jill a lot, you think. So yeah, I think it's going to be I think it's a solid true weapon. It's definitely a good one, especially if you're using her on a mono earth on a mono earth team. She's going to make mono earth units hit really hard. So moving from that, we have Rags' true weapon. We know what that does. Fina's true weapon, God tier, make sure you get it. And then Regulus' true weapon, make sure you get it if you don't have it. So yeah, these two right here are the 2 on the banner that you should really be trying to go for if you are pulling for them and you get one of them and you need the true weapon. Hopefully pray to the RNG gods or the Grand Summoners gods that you can pull one of the true weapons as well. If you pull like Fina from the banner and you don't have a true weapon, pray that you can get that. Or if you haven't used your true weapon unit of choice ticket yet, you can pick Fina's true weapon from it. So yeah, apart from that though guys, that is going to be it for the video today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Hopefully you guys have fun summoning on the Jill banner. If you guys pull Jill, you know, good for you. Me personally, I'm not going to be pulling for him. I'm going to be waiting for Ifrit and other units later on down the line, like Blood Knights and all that, so I'm gonna be saving for a while. The next unit that I'll probably most definitely pull for is probably Norn and Earthmira, so whenever they come out. But yeah, apart from that though guys, it's been your bro P. Thank you all for coming out, and I'm out guys. Peace.